Dealers understand that if you've decided to test drive a car, you've most likely done so after hours of research and you've looked at a variety of models and prices, and not going into a test drive in the dark. But according to Cox Automobile, test drive is usually the last thing that a customer does before purchasing a car. This is not always a good idea. You may be unaware that when you walk into a dealership, the entire game of car shopping changes. You were evaluating the car market as a whole when you were looking through options online, and perhaps you examined reliability rating, reviews, and resale values. When you test drive a car, the real question becomes, what is the exact condition of the vehicle you are looking at? Have you ever tried on a pair of clothes that looked great on the rack but didn't fit at all? The same thing can happen with automobiles. Manufacturers inspect each vehicle that leaves the assembly line. And vehicle that receives an automaker's certified pre-owned label must pass a 150-point. Inspection conditions can vary for all other used vehicles. That means it's up to you to separate the good from the bad. What the majority of dealerships will not tell you when you buy a used car, you have the right to know exactly what you're getting into. The test drive, what to look for before getting in the car. A good test drive is more than just a drive. In fact, the process begins at the salesperson's desk. Ask the salesman for the reconditioning paperwork. That's everything the dealership did to the vehicle after they bought it. This provides you with a list of things to look for and pay attention to while driving. Is the new suspension squishy? Are the brakes too aggressive? It's even more concerning if a dealership has no service records at all. A basic oil change with lube and filter replacement should have been performed at the very least. Some dealers simply do not inspect their vehicles, they literally take a trade-in, wash it, and then put it on the lot. Now is time to visually inspect a vehicle prior to a test drive. When you're finished with the paperwork, it's time to go see the car in person. Even if you've already spent time looking at the vehicle on the lot, you should conduct a thorough visual inspection. Slow down and do the following examine. First, tires. If you have to replace the tires after a few thousand miles, it's the equivalent of adding $700 or more to the vehicle's price. To check tire wear, you don't have to be an expert. Use the penny test, which involves inserting a 1-cent coin into the grooves of the tire tread. If you can see most or all of Abe Lincoln's head, the tires are nearing the end of their useful life. Look at the windows, make certain that there are no cracks. Second, consider how easy it would be to get in and out of the vehicle from every angle. Don't just consider how it feels to get in and out of the driver's seat. You'll want to experience what it's like to be a passenger, just like your friends or children. Now it's time to examine the vehicle from the outside. You may enter the vehicle. What is the first thing you want people to notice about you? The odor. You might be able to tell if the previous owner was a heavy smoker. Will this drive you insane? Even more importantly, does it have a damp odor? If that's the case, it could mean the vehicle was in a flood, which you don't want. Load any unusual cargo. Bring anything special you intend to keep in the car with you to the dealership so you can test it out. Perhaps you have a large family and require 3 car seats. Many cars will not fit those. You must put them in to see if there is enough room. Similarly, perhaps you intend to transport tools, a bicycle, or golf clubs. This is your opportunity to see how easily everything packs in and out. Examine the lights and mechanical components. Roll the windows down and back up before you get on the road. If it's a pickup truck, adjust the side and rear view mirrors, open and close the sunroof, buckle and unbuckle the seat belts. After that, turn on your headlights, tail lights, and turn signals. Examine the dome light. Check that everything is turning on and moving smoothly. If something is broken, inquire whether it can be repaired. Check the AC and heating as well. Even if you're shopping in the dead of winter or the dead of summer, you'll want to turn on the heat and air conditioning. Allow the sales consultant to demonstrate how everything works. Inquire about any mysterious dashboard buttons. Make sure they walk you through the process of connecting your phone to Bluetooth, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay. Start the car and perform this action. Allow the salesperson to turn on the car before you leave. Then, open the hood and listen for any rattling, ticking, or other unusual sounds. You don't have to understand what every noise means. All you have to do is notice it. It is the car salesman's responsibility to explain it to you. Then, if they say it's not a big deal, you use your BS detector to see if they're telling you the truth. How to take a car for a test drive. Here is something that not everyone thinks about. You might want to start your test drive as a passenger. Why? That way, You can keep messing around with the buttons and features while getting a feel for how the car drives. You can learn about the vehicle without having to concentrate on driving. This is another opportunity for you to put the AC, heater, navigation system, and audio system to the test. The consultant should then pull over after 5 or 10 minutes. Here's what you should do when you get behind the wheel of your test drive. Examine the driver's seat. Take note of how the seat itself feels. Do you feel at ease? You may be spending a significant amount of time there, so this is extremely important. Examine your view from the inside and outside. Take note of the car's gauges. Is it simple to see and read them? Keep an eye out for any blind spots. Are they important? If so, are there any cameras in the area? Drive at various speeds in various situations. Don't limit your driving to city traffic. Take it out on the highway to see how it handles at 60 or 70 miles per hour, then head to gravel or bumpy roads to test the suspension. Examine the brakes. Before you do this, make sure to notify the salesperson who is riding with you. And don't do it in any potentially dangerous situation. However, you'll want to see how well the vehicle slows down. The vehicle should decelerate gradually. If the car vibrates or makes a squealing sound, it could mean that the brakes need to be replaced, or that they were replaced with subpar parts. What to do following your test drive? As we discussed at the outset of this article, the test drive is the moment of truth for car buyers. Dealers and their salespeople are well aware of this. That is, if your drive went well, they will be expecting to get down to business. Don't do it, especially if it's your first car. The salesperson may want you to drive one and then buy it. But it's just not that simple. You should have at least 2 things to compare. If you're certain you want the car, keep your cool. While some dealerships that negotiate are not the same. Here are a few other things to think about after your test drive. Inquire about the gas. Some vehicles require higher octane gasoline than others. You should be aware of this if you do not want to pay a premium at the pump. Learn about what are the warranty conditions. A quick way to get to the heart of the matter is to simply ask if the warranty covers everything except wear and tear and basic maintenance. You have an excellent warranty. If the dealership offers you an extended service contract, consider whether it's a good idea. Request that the vehicle be taken to your own mechanic. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion. And if the salesperson says no for whatever reason, that's a dead giveaway. It's time to move on. Check to see if you can spend the night in the vehicle. Buying a car is a significant financial investment. Some dealers provide extended test drives. Customers can take the vehicle home for free for a day or weekend, take the kids places, whatever they need to feel comfortable with their choice. Check to see if the dealership will allow you to truly get to know the vehicle.